Inside a spaceship. The year was 2087. And the world was a very different place. Humans had long since made contact with other life forms in the universe. And space travel was no longer a novelty. In fact, it was a regular occurrence for humans to venture into the cosmos, exploring new planets and discovering new civilizations. Inside a spaceship, a young boy named Max was sitting in the pilot's seat, his eyes fixed on the viewscreen in front of him. He was on a mission to visit the planet Zorvath, a distant world that was home to a species of tall, slender beings with skin like the petals of a flower. Max was only 10 years old, but he was already an experienced space traveler. He had been on several missions with his parents, who were both astronauts, and he had developed a keen sense of adventure and a love for the thrill of exploring the unknown. As he gazed out at the stars, Max's thoughts were interrupted by a soft voice from the ship's computer. "Captain, we are approaching the planet Zorvath," it said. Max grinned, feeling a surge of excitement. He had never been to this planet before, and he couldn't wait to see what it was like. "Prepare for landing," he said, his voice steady and confident. The ship began to descend, and Max felt a strange sensation in his stomach. He was used to the feeling, but it never got any easier. It was like his body was being pulled down towards the planet, and he felt a thrill of anticipation. Finally, the ship landed, and Max breathed a sigh of relief. He had made it to Zorvath. He climbed out of the ship, taking a deep breath of the planet's crisp, clean air. It was a beautiful day, with a bright blue sky and a warm sun shining down. Max felt a sense of wonder as he looked around, taking in the strange and wonderful sights of this new world. As he explored the planet, Max met a group of Zorvathians, who were friendly and curious. They showed him around their city, introducing him to their strange and fascinating technology. Max was amazed by the towering buildings and the strange machines that hummed and whirred as they went about their work. But as the day wore on, Max began to feel a sense of unease. Something was wrong, and he couldn't quite put his finger on what it was. As the sun began to set, Max and the Zorvathians gathered around a great fire to share stories and eat a meal together. Max listened intently as the Zorvathians told him about their history and their culture. He was fascinated by their stories, and he felt a sense of connection to these strange and wonderful beings. But as the night wore on, Max's sense of unease grew. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, and he began to feel a sense of fear. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the night, and Max's heart skipped a beat. What was happening? He looked around, but he couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. The Zorvathians were all staring up at the sky, their faces pale and worried. Max followed their gaze, and he saw it too. A great, glowing light was descending from the stars, casting a strange and ominous glow over the city. "What is that?" Max asked, his voice trembling with fear. "It is the shadow," one of the Zorvathians replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "It is a great and terrible creature, one that brings darkness and destruction to our world." Max's heart was racing with fear. He had never seen anything like this before, and he didn't know what to do. The Zorvathians were all moving towards the ship, their faces filled with panic. Max followed them, his heart pounding in his chest. As they reached the ship, Max saw that it was surrounded by a strange, glowing energy. The shadow was closing in, and Max knew that they had to get out of there, fast. "Start the engines," Max shouted to his parents, who were already scrambling to get the ship ready to take off. The engines roared to life, and the ship lifted off the ground, shooting into the sky like a bullet. Max felt a rush of relief as they broke free of the shadow's energy, leaving it behind like a bad dream. As they flew away from the planet, Max turned to his parents with a question. "What was that?" he asked, his voice still shaking with fear. His parents exchanged a worried glance. "We don't know," his mother replied. "But we'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of this. And we'll make sure that the shadow doesn't hurt anyone else." Max nodded, feeling a sense of determination. He was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And he knew that he could count on his parents to be by his side every step of the way. As they flew back to Earth, Max couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a great adventure. He was ready to face whatever lay ahead, and he knew that he would always have his parents to guide him. The end. This story is part of the My Cup of Earth series, a collection of children's stories that explore the wonders of the universe and the importance of family, friendship, and adventure. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.